So last week, folks, we broke the news to you that it's official. The luxury housing market is in distress. Days on market are commonly over 100. Things aren't selling. But you know what? We're going to revisit that conversation. And more importantly, we're also going to break down why are some of those houses actually selling? Because yes, transactions haven't gone to zero. There are some selling. So yes, the luxury market is still terrible. But what does it take to get something sold? Let's talk to Adrian Hernandez. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this.
Love that.
But, it's interesting. We talked a lot about expired and canceled last week. And what we've seen over the last 7 days is a lot of holds. We had 17, and I'm just looking at my corridor of South County for a quick second. We had 17 properties go on hold. And it's interesting.
Now let's educate people what a hold means, right? Because again, you're looking at the MLS. There's 17 properties that were listed in active that would show up for guys like me. I go to realtor.com, I type it in, I would see that. It goes on hold. I believe what happens then, realtor will eventually update. I won't see that listing because it's not active. Is that correct?
It's not active. And then a realtor has to put amount of days that it's going to be on hold for. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of sellers are not getting the price that they want. They're telling their agent, we don't know if we want to cancel yet. Let's put it on hold and figure out what we're going to do here. Right. Okay. So it's interesting. However, you'll notice, because I kept track of this, last week we had 12 go on hold and 10 of those canceled.
So this is exactly what I've been talking about, right? People put out wish pricing. They have a number in their mind. They say, hey, if we're going to sell, this is our number, whatever it is. We're talking about $2 million here. If it sells, great. If it doesn't, honey, we're staying put. We got a 2.8% mortgage or a 3.1 jumbo. We're not going anywhere. So I think that is going to be a large percentage. 80% even higher than I would have expected. But so when something goes on hold, there's really two outcomes, right? Because basically to me, that's the seller having a moment to decompress, like, do we really want to go? But it's also probably the seller and the agent getting together saying, what do we need to do? Well, you didn't clean up your house. You got to clean your house up, get rid of some of the tchotchkes and this stuff, make it easier for people. I don't know, right? There is some of that. And oh, by the way, if we really want to sell and get an offer, we got to drop it 100 grand, 200 grand. Because again, we're talking about a $2 million price tag.
Right.
And some sellers need a minute to think about that. So again, this is how bottoms happen. We're going to see less listings. People will go on hold and then cancel. Inventory will slowly drop back. Some people will get to a point like you shared yesterday or last week, 2.8 homes sold for 2.1 because they had to sell.
Right.
So we're going to figure it out what's going on. So yeah, the luxury market, very interesting to watch.
And there is, because I talked to a lot of high producing agents in the luxury market. And one thing that I have found is the ones that know what they're doing, they are selling majority of their listings. If I looked in the last 15 days, right, we had over 25 properties that closed for over 2.5.
Wow.
So knowing that, right, that tells us there is still areas that are moving, but here's the kicker. And here's what a lot of us aren't understanding right now. We actually have to work to get a listing sold. You can't just put the for sale sign up and let the market take care of it. You actually, agents, have to go back and do open houses. And I'm not the biggest fan of open houses. You have to go back, and if it's a $3 million home, you have no choice but to do a broker preview. Because it's going back to that 2014-15 market where you actually have to get eyes on the property yourself in order to get it sold. We can't rely on the internet anymore. So for all of you, it's going to take more time. Is it possible to still sell a luxury home in this market? Absolutely.
Clearly, 25 sold last week.
But you got to understand what it takes to get that property sold. And majority of us don't have the marketing budget, let alone the experience to get a property like that sold, guys. So just be careful. I talked about this on last week's call. Don't take a listing to feed the ego. Take a listing to know that you can actually get it sold.
Yeah, it's really interesting because what I'm hearing you say is in the luxury market, really, it's and we'll talk about the market that I'm in a minute, but the luxury market, you have to stand out. You have to do the extra things because again, there are people that can still afford luxury. There will always be people with money,
Yep.
but they have more choices today. And as I always say, luxury is a want, not a need. Nobody needs a luxury home. It doesn't exist.
Nope.
They want a luxury home. So you have to feed that desire. You have to have something unique. And oh, by the way, I got to tell you, in luxury, it's not always price.
Nope.
It's something else. It's a sexy backyard. It's a new this. It's a new that. Whatever it is. I have no idea what a luxury buyer likes because I've never been in that market, but there's something.
Yep.
And it's your job, the agent, to figure out what that is. And it's pretty exciting to think about.
And it's your job as an agent to lead the seller to let them know and tell them, hey, you have no choice but to redo your backyard. You have no choice but to redo the carpet. You have no choice but to redo the cabinets. These are all tough conversations we're going to have with our sellers, with homeowners. And it's important that you as professionals work on the practice of knowing how to communicate to another, to a seller, to a consumer, knowing how to get them to understand, okay, you're right, I do need to do this, versus being the agent that just rolls over and says, how much? And you don't want to do that? Okay, no worries. I'll take it at 4%.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy because I think this is playing out in the affordable market as well. So, as you know, and the audience knows if they follow my channel, I was tired of people saying you can't make money in real estate at the end of the year. There was an article in Yahoo Finance that said 87% of buyers or don't want to buy. It's a bad time. So I said, enough of this nonsense. I'm going to go get a deal. I ended up getting two. The first one is already on the market, and we were just about to cancel it this Friday because I only did phase one of my two-step remodel. Because if I was going to do phase two, it would be for an FHA buyer, and you can't sell for 90 days. All this stuff that you know that I'm keeping the audience up on. But the idea of what I'm trying to buy or create is a product that stands alone. So the first product has a 4-car garage, a legit 4-car garage. Which you can't find in my location for under $500,000. So I'm selling one for $309,000. Somebody's going to buy this because the house is clean, but they want a garage. They tinker with cars. They run a small business, whatever it is. I've got the only one. And sure enough, I got a full price offer yesterday evening. So we should be opening escrow today. But again, I have something that no one else has. There's a lot of three-bedroom, 1-bath homes. Most of them are priced lower than mine, but none of them have a 4-car garage. That's why I bought that deal. That's why I'll make $30,000 and tell all the haters, look at my 30% yield, sucker. My second one is just a cookie cutter 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1,500 square feet. I'm going to finish the garage and I'm going to dress up the front yard. I'm going to stand out from the crowd and I will be at a price point. So again, you can do this at any price point. And if you're willing to do the work, you don't gamble, you don't rush, you buy right. It all starts with how you buy.
Yep.
There's still plenty of money to be made. People just don't want to do the work. Yep. And it includes agents. Agents got freaking lazy.
And lucky.
And
very
lucky. And amazing paychecks and tax returns. And yeah, now they're getting rid of their second or third Mercedes and they're having to downsize their life.
Exactly. And the lenders, for you lenders out there, even more important, right? How do we find a way to provide some different type of value? Because, we're looking for new acquisitions managers, and it's crazy, Zuber, because majority of our applicants are loan officers. And it's
this rolling recession, it hit mortgage first, it hits real estate second. Next up is auto sales is next. It's going to ripple through the economy.
You're already seen it. I study the high-end car market pretty well because I am an addict, and
you just like to look. I am an addict. I
am an addict. Adrian Hernandez am an addict, and I've noticed a major downswing in the high-end luxury market of cars, and it's just a matter of time before it trickles down. So
I saw a crazy thing. Not that I'm a big high-end guy, but I just think there was so much nonsense the last couple of years. The Lamborghini luxury SUV is getting smashed right now.
The G-Wagon, Zuber?
Oh, the G-Wagon too. The Mercedes G-Wagons. Oh my God.
People were paying $50,000, $75,000, $150,000 above MSRP. They will never see that back ever again. Those cars are selling for 210, 220. I saw one on the market for 180 last week.
And now, what? Just for us audience who don't know, what did it? So 180 grand sounds nuts to me. What would that have sold for a year ago?
325.
320.
285,
You all got too
285.
much money, man.
I mean, depending on the market, if you found someone in Beverly Hills that really didn't give a shit how much they paid for it, they were buying them. They were buying them.
So 280 to 180, that's a hell of a haircut. That's going to leave a mark.
Because yeah. Anyway, I can go on about this, but
yeah,
you guys with anything, right? Pay attention to the market, keep studying it, follow what Zuber's saying. I know one thing I'm doing is just doubling down on Zuber content because
there you go.
There's a bright light telling me which direction to go. So follow it, guys.
Yeah, opportunity, do the work. It really is that simple. Just most people don't want to work. They want to just sit back and play with their phone. Anyways.
Yeah. And this generation is only making it worse. So you guys don't fall into it. Do the work and you'll be far ahead. Zuber, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, buddy. Where can people find you?
Instagram @Adrian Hernandez.
Thank you so much.
Go.